All right, welcome to another episode of Real Estate vs. Technology. I'm your host, Norman Kinsey. We have our co-host, Mr. Dan Gandy. Welcome, Dan.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course. We have a very special guest today. This individual is with eXp. She's an icon, 1% eXp icon realtor. Get that out there. Her name is Christina. Welcome to the Real Estate vs. Technology today, Christina.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here, guys.
Of course. So the show is all about you, your business. We want to deep dive a little bit more into your story to start the show. So let's go ahead and do that. So tell us a little bit about your business, like as far as how long you've been in the business, what made you get into the business, and what areas do you serve?
Oh, yeah. So I am, first of all, I'm a wife to my husband, Jeremy, and I'm a mom of 3 boys. My kids are 4, 6, and 19. And I have been a licensed agent for just under 6 years. And I serve the St. Louis, Missouri, and surrounding communities areas. And I basically built my business with a baby on my hip as a mom, local mom. And I was a corporate recruiter. I was in sales before real estate. I became a stay-at-home mom. You kind of know the story. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I said, I'm going to go into real estate, and it's all been uphill from there.
Wow.
Kind of a little bit of my backstory.
That's amazing. Was your husband part of your IT and tech, who we just saw before we?
He is. Yeah, he actually he's got 16 years of corporate IT, and he decided his company closed 2 years ago. He decided that he was going to start doing his own thing, and so he's been supporting me, and he's created a business out of that, and he's very tech savvy. So it's really exciting to be able to have an IT department at home when you work from home. Especially when the printer breaks.
That's awesome. That's great. And I also, before we go with the additional questions, I just want to say congratulations. I know that you're a keynote speaker on the Women's in Real Estate Summit. So congratulations on that. I know it's already, now we're in the future here. So if anyone wants to tune in or check that out, I'm sure they could check out your social media
yes, we'll have recording. So I'll be speaking on how to become a digital mayor of your town at the summit. So very exciting.
Very important for 2021. Definitely very important. That's awesome. So going into your business, and we'll do a little bit more of a deep dive. So as far as your business, last 12 months, give us a little bit of context as far as the sides, helping buyers and sellers, transaction volume.
Yeah, of course. So I've completely built my business on not being like your typical Zillow agent. All of my business in 2020, literally 50-50, 50% came from referrals. The other 50% came from social media. And I am really big on just creating that relationship and building a brand and becoming a market authority. And that's really what has helped me, I feel like, over the years, raise my price points, raise my level. So I'll have sold 36 houses this past year. I did just under 10 million in sales. And I don't really want to sell more than 40 houses. I don't know about you guys, but I'm super tired.
That's the top of the what I call the top of the production zone from an individual agent before it starts to get into chaos.
Yeah, I'm a solo agent, so I pretty much do everything with a TC. I actually just decided to become a grown-up though and hired my first employee. So I am excited for 2021 because I hired someone now that can help me a little bit more. Yeah, so
for sure. Congratulations on that. Definitely time to start to delegate, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you can only go so far. You feel like, all right, I got a family, I got a personal life. I can't do it all. That's good for you.
For sure.
So as far as your side of the business, buy side, sell side, what makes up your real estate business? Is it 50-50 buy side, sell side, more sell side?
It's all way up until this past year. So for the first 4 years, it was about 50-50. And this year it started to turn. It's about 60% listings, 40% buyers. So it's starting, I've got a lot of clients, that I worked with in years 1 and 2 that are wanting to sell. And so I'm starting to finally see that, that duplication and referral base kind of grow from that. And I think that that's maybe push that a little bit towards the listing side, but also I think our market is so heavily, a seller's market here where I live and sell.
Yeah.
That's kind of driving that. But hey, I'm not complaining because I feel like you got a list to last, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Strike while the iron's hot.
Right. Right, for sure.
I love that. So give us some context for the viewers and listeners out there when it comes to, you said that you have a big chunk of your business online that's coming in. People are reaching out to you because of social media. You're going to talk about it in the summit coming up. So tell us what separates you, or what do you do differently on social media that really gives context or light to that, to those referrals coming in or people reaching out to you on social media?
I think for me, like a huge part of like how I've been able to grow my following is that I just show up, and it doesn't need to be like full face of makeup and hair. Like I just show up in the moment as I am. And sometimes it's raw and real. And sometimes I throw a curse word in there, here and there. And sometimes I'm yelling at my kids because, it's like we're trying to balance work and life, and virtual school I'm not a teacher.
Yeah.
So I think that I've been able to grow a following of people that see the reality of real estate, and like how I was able to build my business from nothing to something, and still do it and still try to balance that life. And I think it's very intriguing to a lot of women per se, especially a lot of mothers, because they're wondering themselves, hey, can I do this? Is this somebody I can relate to? Like, is this realistic? And I feel like I show both sides of that coin. It's not always great, right? It's not always easy. It's, simple, but not easy.
And rawness is what people like, though. It's authenticity.
And that's where the relatability comes from my sphere.
Yeah.
All the people that follow me either on Instagram or Facebook, which is where I built most of my business, some LinkedIn, but those are my jam. Instagram and Facebook is where I've built my sphere of people, the following, and they like the content. You got to educate, entertain. And if you can do those things and show up and be consistent, you can grow a business. And I love it. I love social media because the barrier to entry is so low. The cost is like virtually nothing to build something. It's so cool.
That is awesome. What do they say? People buy it from people they know, like, and trust. So you can see how that ties into that. So you can start to, earn that trust, likability, and be able to help someone. So before we get to the lightning rounds, I have one last question. So the last question I have for me is, as far as technology. So over the course of the years of you being in business, has there been a technology that's kind of disrupted, like maybe the way that you do business, or had you have to adapt to maybe in 2020 to adapt to a new way to be able to conduct business because of what's been going on?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to like throw my brokerage under the bus, but being at eXp, I feel like we were built for a pandemic. If any company was, and I've been with the company for 41 months now. So when I started, there was 4,700 agents in the company. I was the 11th one in St. Louis. No one in my town had heard of it. Wow. And so going from that to 40,000 this past year, in the middle of a pandemic, where for me, I felt like my business did not skip a beat. Everything went this whole year off as it would have been had no virus happened. And I truly believe it's because of the technology and tools I already had in place with my company, leveraging, the virtual cloud office, being able to work from home, doing Zoom conferences with my buyers and sellers, FaceTime or on Facebook Messenger, like pivoting and being able to do open houses virtually from my phone and driving traffic to an event. I was already doing all of those things. And so for me, I felt like the brokerage support of that just went, 100 miles an hour. They stepped on the gas instead of hitting the brakes for the agent. And so I thought that was super cool.
That's huge. Wow. Yeah. Good for you. And it's nice to hear more positive stories be coming out of what happened in 2020. coming out of that year, and now like you're going into 2020 with everything you have. And I mean, that's amazing. That's for our viewers and listeners too, as well. So we're now going to get into the lightning round. So we're going to change up the camera angle a little bit. We're going to give Dan the mic, and it's all about technology. So go ahead, Dan, take it away.
Oh, good.
Yeah, lightning round is just short responses, 1 to 2 sentences, things you're doing, maybe a little bit of input, but it really is to share, what's in your tool belt from a tool perspective as well as a marketing perspective, and how that can help other agents kind of sort or swim through the clutter of. I just wanted to share this real quick. I have a Google sheet that has every technology tool that I use on the real estate side of the business, and it tracks costs. And sometimes my jaw just drops every time I open it up. So just sorting through that and getting some perspective on what the hottest things are for you. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah. And I probably know most of this because I'm an eXp agent as well, but what's your number one lead source right now? And I think you already told us. Is it social media or referrals?
It's, they're like 50-50, but I will still say social media, because the majority of those clients where I'm getting referrals from, I met on social media, years ago. So it's definitely social media. And to be more specific, it's groups.
Okay. Yeah.
Inside groups.
I've capitalized a lot on that investment groups for that. And then do you do any cold calling or prospecting and any farming per se?
I don't do cold calling. I don't door knock. I used to, I said, I was a recruiter in years and years, and I cold called to death, and I know how to write a script and how to do the tonality over the phone and matching and setting the appointments. I know how to do all that, but I felt like that ship has sailed, like for me and for technology. In an age of a Ring doorbell and a do not call list, I feel like social media is where it's at. And for me, no, I don't.
Do you sprinkle any direct mail in maybe circle prospecting or?
I do. Okay. I'm really huge on branding and using a branding photographer. I have like 4 branding photographers I use, and I do about 4 to 10 shoots a year with content. And so I will use some of that family content to farm my own neighborhood. So people in my neighborhood know I live and work here too, and I have a family. And that was a huge campaign I ran last year. I got a lot of responses in my neighborhood from a campaign I ran with another lender here.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Leverage your lender, like have them pay for the marketing and stuff, and you just do the EDDM. I think it's great. A really good tool.
Wow. I was stuffing envelopes last night, and I was like, man, I need to mail my own neighborhood.
It's not just listed, just sold. Hey, I'm an agent. It needs to be, there's a person and a family behind the sign. Like, this is really who I am and why I want to help you.
Yeah, no, totally.
Right.
And then in terms of websites or, just online search, like, are you using KV Core's website, or do you have your own type of website? Like, can you explain a little bit there?
Yeah, I definitely use the KV Core website. I mean, why not? It's so affordable. They give it to us with eXp. It pulls the IDX, which is awesome. I love it because I can set clients in there, and they will click on a house, and it will send them 10 other houses on my behalf, just like that one. So it's doing a lot of the legwork behind the scenes. So KV Core is pretty cool with that. But I recently also just launched ChristinaSwyers.com, which is a place where I'm going to house my blog. And I'm actually working on creating a course that's going to be launched early this year. And so that will house a lot of that. And then for buyer and seller stuff, and then also for other agents.
Awesome.
So I've got kind of two things there.
Yeah, no, that's, I think everybody, has some sort of course or some sort of value they can provide, especially being a successful agent. You field enough calls and people like, hey, how are you doing this? You're like, wait, maybe I should just record this.
100%, you hit the nail on the head. That's literally what I've been dealing with the last 2 years. And my husband, the IT man, was like, why don't you just create a course?
Yeah, love it.
So that's how that birthed.
And I think you've shared some stuff about social, but is there any specific little tools or analytic tracking or anything that you're using around your social media strategy outside of the photography and building content organically to track followers or engagement or be able to be more strategic with that?
Yeah, for sure. Trello boards are awesome to track things and having like systems in place. And then I actually hired somebody that does like my blogging, and she'll pull my analytics. Using Insight app is really good on Insta, like just to make sure that you understand like what your engagement is. Like I constantly am updating that media kit. And another thing that I teach and can tell people about is how to profit from using those using like brands, and they'll reach out to you. You always want to have that media kit up anyway, but using that is huge. And for 2021 for me, that's going to be like, who are the top 5 like brand sponsors I want? Like I would love like Ruggable or Sherwin-Williams or like some of these people to give a shout out, and they'll help you grow using that. But having that media kit and understanding like, okay, this is how many followers I have, which is great. Don't focus on that though. Focus on your engagement rate. Focus on your how many views and how many people are in your stories. You know, that's what people need to be focusing on. Not I need to get to 10,000 so I can have the swipe up, because I'm not even there yet. But I have a really good engagement, and I have built quite a bit just from the small amount that I have, and it'll grow organically. And don't buy followers.
We've been talking about that because I just started my real estate Instagram, and it's taken me like maybe, I don't know, 6 weeks to get 200 followers outside of just like pretty much organically, right? And
do a reel a day and you'll do it.
Yeah.
Reels are huge right now on Insta. So
I was just talking about that this morning.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, you got to pay to play. If you're using the app the way that it should be intended to use and using all its functionality, you know what I mean? The algorithm is going to show you to more people. It's not rocket science.
Organizationally, you know, is it Google Calendar, Monday.com? You know, there's a million different tools that we've seen out there. What is it for you?
I mean, I just, the old calendar, like it's not, I think agents overcomplicate it. Like you don't even need a CRM as long as you have an Excel spreadsheet. I know some agents that don't use one. I couldn't imagine at this point not, but I mean, there are a lot of shiny object syndrome issues with real estate. Like we feel like we all have to use everything. Now, some things are great and will make our lives easier, like KV Core, you know, Pullington, talking to my clients and setting them up drip campaigns and building out all the stuff, and email campaigns to stay in front of your sphere, I think is huge. But yeah, just making sure that you're constantly staying in front of people and using your good old Google Calendar. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I like it. It's like $6 a month.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
And then the last question for me really is there any new technology that you are maybe you haven't started to implement or you've been considering implementing?
Yes. Ooh, this is good. This is a good question. So my husband, the IT man, is actually developing an app that uses artificial intelligence and machine learning. So it's like chatbot 2.0.
Okay.
Using this. And so he's been working on this for 2 years now. And I'm so excited for him to get this in front of some developers. Little birdie told me possibly in front of KV Core. So we know some people there, and it's really cool because I feel like it can be used for any product or service. Like imagining texting a restaurant and going, what did I order last time? What is the most ordered thing on the menu? And it being able to tell you, right? So the most millennial thing that ever millennialed will happen out of this chatbot, I feel like. But I feel like from a real estate perspective, it's me being able to talk to my leads. And the artificial intelligence and machine learning is learning how I respond after it collects enough data. And it will respond when I can't on my behalf, which is part cool and part creepy.
Yeah.
But I think that's where technology is headed in a lot of ways, because people don't like chatbots anymore. They know like these pre-done messages. They know they're talking to a chatbot. Once they realize it, they check out.
Yep.
So we have to go beyond that, I feel like.
Yeah, no, it's
so that's what we're working on in the back.
Excited for you guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. Really, really cool. And it's something he's been working on for a really long time. And
wow,
I'm excited to see it come to fruition. If, this is legit, it's got to capture a lot of data though.
Yes.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Thank you so much, Dan, for doing the lightning round. And that's really exciting about the technology. So we definitely will have to stay in tune, and the viewers and listeners, actually there's links down below to your social media. So if anyone wants to stay tuned on that, they definitely can as well. So we have some final questions before we end the show. So I want to go ahead and deep dive a little bit more into your business as far as, do you consider yourself an expert, like say area specialist or anything like that? Do you have that approach for marketing for your business in your like local area?
Yeah. So like I preach this a lot, like finding the type of clientele that you want to work with, because you're not everybody's agent, right? So for me, definitely families are huge. Like I serve most families because I know where all the best neighborhoods and schools are. I also, prior to my career at eXp, worked in an investment firm. So I understand how to work with a lot of investors. So a lot of my clients are investors. A lot of my clients will buy a house, and then I'll teach them how to build wealth in real estate through buying a multifamily or, a rental property or a flip. And so a lot of my clients have come through fruition with investing on that side, which is pretty neat because I don't have to box myself into an area. I focus more on the relationship with the client, and sometimes it's in the city and sometimes it's in the suburbs, right? Yeah. And then I work with a lot of single moms. First time home buyers.
Yeah,
that's kind of like my little niche.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've been seeing more as we go through these podcast episodes. We're coming to I think 65 episodes now, and it's very interesting. We're starting to see a commonality. Those that come from tech, or those that come from being an executive or recruiting or any of those type of things, they see the holes in real estate. They see that agents are always looking for the next shiny tool, and that they don't treat their business like a business. Then they get themselves focused and organized like a business, and they crush it like you're crushing it. Overnight success practically, because you see exactly what 95% of the agents aren't doing, as the top 10% does 95% of the transaction volume in the real estate space. So kudos to you.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's just patience. A lot of hard work and a lot of patience. I feel like the number one thing agents do is they give up too soon. They haven't failed enough.
Yes.
They have not failed enough.
Yeah. Definitely.
When I was transitioned to eXp, I almost gave up the first week because of all the emails. But no, I'm just
it is a lot of emails.
Yeah, it was just, we kind of have a running joke, me and my business partner, about the first 2 weeks of eXp. Was just like it was like trying to catch fastballs every 3 minutes. So
well, at least we have like all these people in place now. When I started, it was like crickets, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm kind of like winging this. I don't know how that happened, but it was just like, whatever, I was just happy to be here.
Exactly.
That's awesome to see the evolution of eXp. That's great.
Yeah.
So, last couple questions. Do you focus on any specific buyer or seller farm?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Do you focus on any specific buyer or seller farm?
No, I don't. I do not. I don't have anything specific. I just work with people that I want to work with, that want to work with me, that we vibe. Like I don't have like a specific farm. Like I said, like I am not your typical, I'm not the agent that's going to go into a listing presentation with this big presentation.
Yeah.
Most of the people that are coming to me already know they want to hire me. And it's just like having coffee or a drink with an old friend when I walk in the door. So they feel like they already know me because of social media. It's kind of weird. So, I think for me, it's maybe a little bit different than the average agent because of that.
I love it. So when a client works with you, this is the last question. When a client works with you, what do you do to help them like win? Basically, their home gets sold, top dollar, days on market. Like what is like your secret weapon or something that you do?
So I market the heck out of it using my social relationships that I've built off market groups. If I'm on the buy side, I have like a buyer checklist for my clients to win. I literally went through and wrote everything that we could do to build that relationship. Whatever we need to do. It's not always highest offer is best offer, right? On either side. Or if you're on the sell side, like I just had a client go under contract immediately the week of Christmas.
Okay.
And so we have that going on, like that's not always the highest offer is the best offer, but marketing is so key. Professional photography, professional videography, and then running ads if you need to get that in front of more people is huge. And it's a huge part of my business.
That's awesome. No, that's really
using that social influence after you've been building it for years. somebody's going to see it. I mean, I've sold houses using a hashtag on Instagram before. So
Yeah,
it works if you work it.
I just wanted to kind of interject here because I see a lot of people who have had a lot of success in real estate, and they may not be older agent, they may just be a mid-level agent, and they just put the property on the MLS and kind of do the same dog and pony show. And I always see the house may sit on the market for longer, and I'm always just like, hey, did you like do a Facebook boost or like did you shoot any Instagram stories, or did you even have a professional photographer? And they're like, oh no, I don't need it, it'll sell. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not attracting more business. And that's
right. I mean, that should be a part of your listing presentation. This is what sets me apart from another agent. And in the day of age, if social media isn't going anywhere, even if Facebook shut down tomorrow, something else would take its place. I mean, we're already seeing it with Clubhouse, right? Like there are other things out there that will move that needle, but it's not going anywhere because it's just an effective way to get the most eyes on a property, and that is where it's at, the traffic.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think it's super cool.
I love that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's made my job being able to literally work anywhere I have a phone. Yeah. I can, it doesn't matter where I am. I can work for the most part.
That makes a big difference, and hence why we have the podcast. We want to shine light on what is that technology, what are you doing, and now we want to shine light on letting the floor be yours. So floor's open, it's yours.
Yeah.
That's the episode where you've already kind of shared the technology that your IT/husband is working on. Anything else you want to share? I know that you're going to be at the summit. We're about 5 to 6 weeks in the future now, but floor is yours.
Yeah. So like I said, I just started ChristinaSwyers.com is where I'm going to be housing this course that I'm creating, which is a master class for the modern realtor. And it's based around 6 modules. One of them is how to become a digital mayor in your town, which is what I'm talking about tomorrow, giving some really good value. But it goes into marketing, branding, SEO, Google AdWords, blogging, how photography, like everything, and how I've been able to build and the social platforms I've been able to use. I mean, anything from Facebook groups to driving traffic to something will be covered in that module. And so that's something I've been pouring my heart and soul into the last several months. And then I'm super excited to just bring to people because they always ask me if I had $1 for every time somebody messaged me and they were like, how do you do this? Or how are you doing this? And I'm like, that's another way for me to add value to a real estate agent, but also create another stream of income. And I'm huge about that. That's what eXp opened my eyes to, is multiple streams of income. And once I started seeing that become legit and be a real thing, it opened the collaboration for me to create other things, which is so awesome.
Wow. And I have to give kudos to you because we understand on the lift-off agent side, that's a lot of to go through those modules, build all that out. I mean, that's not easy. So good kudos to you. And definitely that's why eXp is winning, because real estate agents, it's always the next one, the next deal, the next deal, the next deal. There's no reoccurring revenue or portfolio investment unless they diversify their portfolio by buying investment properties
or stock.
I've ordered a lot of stock. I mean, hitting icon and getting your whole cap back. I just went through and did my math because I'm huge on the math. When I talk to agents about things, I really break down the numbers and the math. And I actually made 118%. So last year, eXp paid me 18% to literally. I mean, it was insane, like to say that. So that's the big thing. They're like, well, I could just earn 100% at a discount brokerage. Anybody could, but I like to earn more than 100%. And that's what the leverage has given us with this brokerage.
Wow. And I think what other agents need to understand from other brokerages is that, I think the one objection or, stuff you hear on the streets is like, oh, it's just a pyramid scheme and like everyone's recruiting each other. And I'm like, man, there's no difference than your principal broker sitting in the office 3 doors down. He's making a commission off you. You're just not getting any of that back if you recruit anybody in the door. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's, we can obviously talk all day about that, and there was 4,700 agents, no one knew about it, but now that there's 40,000 people, they talk a lot and they get my blood pressure raised a little bit just because I have such a soft spot for this company and how I've been able to build my business. And I've, recruited quite a bit of people to be in the 1%. So 40 frontline agents, and like grown my family tree and taught others how to do this. But I've been able to do that alongside selling real estate. Like, it hasn't taken up any more of my time, but literally every single one of those people reached out to me on social media.
Yeah.
They saw my live videos, they saw my stories, they saw my posts, they watch for years, they watch. And then when they're ready and their gates open, then they come to you. You don't have to bug people. You don't have to chase people. The right people will be attracted to you, whether it's real estate agents or buyers and sellers. That can all be said for the same thing. And there's a right and wrong way, to recruit in any company. But I will tell you, if you want to pay me however much you're paying your company, I'll be your best friend too, just like your broker will. But I think at the end of the day, when I show you the math, that's what's hard for people to walk away from, is facts, because math is facts. So if I can show you how you can earn more than 100% or save money or do things, and then also add value to you in my group or through my husband and I on our digital stuff, and like in any way, coaching, whatever that may be, I just don't see how somebody wouldn't want to, that's a lot of value you're giving someone. And so now I've made it my mission and passion. It's my passion and purpose to help other people see and do what I've done, and then just teach them.
Wow. They're doing something right, because this wasn't even about an eXp, and this whole episode is actually packed with a great content about eXp, and why not go for that opportunity? I mean,
I'm very passionate about it, and I know we talked about it's not the only thing, but I mean, it is a huge part in my success. I've been able to triple my income since starting. I mean, it's been triple my business. I mean, in my first year of real estate, I only sold 3 houses. So like, I've come a long way, but a lot of that has been along the worldwide collaboration I've had with agents at a high level, teaching me the last 3.5 years.
Wow.
That I would usually have to pay for. Have a coach pay for, but I get that in our live training and in our collaboration. Huge.
Yeah.
So big. It's like the elephant in the room you have to talk about.
Well, for viewers and listeners out there, Christina's contact information is below. So if you want to reach out to her, she definitely sounds like someone that you should reach out to. And Christina, thanks so much for being on the show. We really do appreciate all the knowledge and information that our viewers and listeners just got from you today. So thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Of course. Dan, thanks for co-hosting. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And thanks to all our viewers and listeners, as it is our intention for you to take something from our episodes to apply to your business, have more massive success. And we will see you on the next one. It made it to the end. Well, thank you so much for watching Real Estate vs. Technology. We hope you found value, especially something you can apply to your real estate business. If you could do us a favor, we would appreciate it. A thumbs up. If you subscribe, hit the notification bell, you'll be notified for new episodes coming out, and comment below. What the heck did you learn? If you want to join our Facebook group page, there's a link right here. And if you want to be featured on Real Estate vs. Technology, send us a DM on our Instagram page. We'll see if we get you on the show. So, take care. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.